It's the most wonderful time of the year, New York City in the winter. I'm Kerry Drew, and I hope you're hungry. From unique holiday drinks,
It's kind of like a modern-day eggnog.
to holy cannoli, and hashtag food porn, the secret to posting the perfect picture.
If you could get the shot like with the pour and it's sort of dripping down, it's really, really, really beautiful.
How one of the most popular food bloggers makes his Instagram followers salivate. We begin on the ski slopes of Italy. Okay, not really, but Baita comes pretty close. It's the perfect place to warm up this winter. Baita, located on the 14th floor rooftop of Italy in Flatiron.
Baita translates loosely into little ski lodge in Italian. It's kind of a celebration of all things northern Italy.
You can cozy up with food and drinks underneath a retractable roof while enjoying a taste of northern Italian classics.
We're trying to give people an experience where for maybe an hour or two they're not in New York City, but they're in the northern Italian Alps. We added food items to the menu that are warming. They're kind of best described as Italian comfort food. So if we can't warm you from without, we're going to warm you from within.
Comfort food like Baita's raclette station.
The word raclette derives from the French word racler, which means to scrape.
Featuring melt-in-your-mouth melted cheese.
So cheese lovers are going to be obsessed with this.
Yes, absolutely. This is like every cheese lover's dream right here.
Baita's chef de cuisine, Jackie Jiang, shows us how it's done.
You want to get the cheese nice and bubbly, and once that cheese is melted, you really just scrape right over the plate. We have three options for our raclette. We have rosemary crusted prosciutto cotto. We also have white wine poached crispy potatoes, and we also have market pickled vegetables. This is a cow's milk cheese that's been aged for about 5 to 6 months. One wheel is roughly about 18 to 20 pounds.
Wow.
We'll go through maybe an entire wheel on a very busy weekend.
At Baita, you'll also find New York City's first ever polenta bar.
We offer 3 varieties of polenta, and we have it in a separate area because we found out that polenta is best served fresh.
The secret for us is a little bit of butter and Parmigiano Reggiano, and of course love. This is our beef ragu polenta. It's short rib ragu from Creekstone Farms, and this is our most popular dish right now. We're gonna take our beautiful ragu right over the polenta. Finish it with a little bit of parsley.
And how cute is this? At each table there are these plaid blankets so you can wrap yourself up if you get cold.
As we all know, winter can get a little chilly. When that happens, you want to be in an environment where things are a little bit warm. And basically a nice environment so everyone can kind of huddle around, enjoy a great experience together.
This is exactly what you want on a cold day after a long day of skiing.
Or a long day of walking around the city, let's be
Exactly.
honest.
And then you come up to the Italian Alps right in the middle of New York City.
Cheers to Baita.
Cheers. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Nothing says wintertime like a festive cocktail. Here are a few of my favorites. It's time to shake things up with a wintertime cocktail or two. Matt Donahue is the bar manager at Refinery Rooftop in Midtown, where you can cozy up by the fireplace and take in views of the Empire State Building. The bar has a famous white drink that looks and tastes just like the season.
This is our winter wonderland. We kind of tried it, and then the name came about afterwards because we kind of just conjured up images of wintertime and snowmen and, you know, sitting by the fire and having cocktails. It's kind of like a modern-day eggnog.
The drink is made with Jack Daniel's Fire, rum chata, and an unusual ingredient that gives it that white color.
2 ounces of rice milk,
The garnish is also festive.
some fresh cinnamon, some ground cinnamon, a cinnamon stick, and then a star of anise.
Almost looks too pretty to drink, but I think we should do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Next up is Boilermaker in the East Village, where each drink is served in a quirky mug.
Santa has to spend some time in the tropics as well, right?
Right.
So we're gonna make the Frosty Bottoms today. It's a Christmassy tiki cocktail.
Head bartender Samuel Gauthier shows us how it's done.
Start from the top. Making it with ½ an ounce of lemon juice, ½ an ounce of cinnamon syrup,
Then some orange juice.
and then we get into the fun parts. ½ an ounce of liqueur 43, which is kind of like a vanilla bitter.
Some rum, and an ounce and a half of Earl Grey infused vodka. It's garnished with an orange slice, a flower, and a torched cinnamon stick.
And I think having a little bit of pick-me-up and those warm vanilla flavors for the holidays works perfectly.
Frosty bottoms,
Frosty bottoms.
bottoms up. Cheers.
Cheers.
And finally, there's the Sugar Daddy at White Oak Tavern in the West Village.
It has a wintery feel to it. It is served chilled, but at the same time with the whiskey, it definitely warms your bones and keeps you going through the cold nights.
Chris Page is the operating partner and came up with this special twist on an espresso martini.
We'll start with 2 ounces of Dewar's. Dewar's 12, that is. It's a ½ ounce of Kahlua,
Next, his secret weapon,
and this is a full ounce of our homemade butterscotch.
So this has actual real butterscotch homemade in it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
then some heavy cream and a ½ ounce of espresso.
Give it a good shake.
It's finished with some cocoa powder on top.
Cheers.
So cheers to a cozy night with friends celebrating New York City in the wintertime.
Oh my God. That's delicious. It's
pretty
like
tasty.
dessert in a drink.
Yeah.
Coming up, bacon in your belly. I'm taking you inside the restaurant in Brooklyn where bacon is the only thing on the menu. And later, holy cannoli. The dessert's so big, you need a hammer to crack it open. Welcome back. Who doesn't love bacon? Meet the chef in Brooklyn serving up the old favorite in a new way. Bacon, bacon, and more bacon. Belly in Williamsburg is every bacon lover's dream.
I'm a big pork lover. I'm a big bacon lover.
Executive chef Johnny Woo taught himself how to cook when he was a kid. Woo was born in Seoul, South Korea, where his parents ran hotels and restaurants.
The culinary, hospitality, I mean, those are in my blood. However, I'm not a trained chef. I'm a serious home cook.
A home cook with a new hotspot focused on bacon. Feast your eyes on the 9-course bacon omakase menu.
The word omakase means I leave it up to you. Just come and leave it up to us.
One of the highlights is Woo's mouth-watering take on bread and butter.
It's a locally sourced white sourdough bread. On top, we have our homemade kimchi butter spreaded and bacon chips glazed with maple syrup infused soy sauce.
Wow, and that dish is called bread and butter?
Yes. A lot of people say, you know, we should package and sell the butter. I think it's really that good.
There's also the bacon sushi.
This second dish is our signature, which is a bacon sushi. It's called sushi, but it's not raw. We cure the bacon, and then we boil it to get rid of some fats. And then finally we torch it. Sushi doesn't have to be serious. It's a very casual, comfort finger food.
For a course that's a bit more spicy, there's Woo's take on a Spanish dish called chicharrón.
The chicharrón is actually the fried pork rind or pork belly in South America, right? We give a little bit of twist. This time we added chili pepper. Also, most importantly, the Korean yellow mustard.
What can people expect when they try this dish?
Flavor bomb. Complex flavors in one dish.
Even the last course, Woo's strawberry mousse dessert, incorporates, yes, you guessed it, bacon.
It's actually between a panna cotta and the mousse, but it's a little bit more on the mousse side. We put chocolate-covered bacon chips on top with mint.
Cheers.
Cheers.
After talking about all of the dishes, it was time for a taste.
Butter.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
The bacon omakase experience at Belly is hard to describe, but Wu sums it up like this.
It's the best thing. It's foodgasm.
And for some more comfort food, head to Turtle and the Wolf, Chef Lauren Hirschberg's cozy spot in his hometown of Upper Montclair, New Jersey.
It's nice to be able to like walk down the street and have that familiarity and say like I've come full circle and this is where it started and this is where I'm at now.
It was an idea Lauren and his best friend and co-owner Matt Trevenin came up with years ago when they were cooking in college.
A couple years ago he was like, hey, we talked about this a long time ago, and he's like, let's start considering doing it. We kind of stumbled upon this space and went for it. The home-cooked nature of a lot of food that is Southern, it's just kind of being with family, being with friends, being at home at the stove, and kind of having that comfort.
Lauren's favorite dish is the shrimp and grits. To make it, Lauren first starts with shrimp stock.
We make that by roasting off some whole shrimp, and then add some vegetables, carrot, celery, onions, and then a bunch of different peppers. Let that all roast together, add some tomatoes, white wine, brandy, and then some chicken stock to give it some body. We let it simmer for about 20-25 minutes, get all the flavors together, and then that's going to be the sauce for the dish.
Next, onto the grits.
Here we've taken some white grits, cooked them with water, added some butter and cream. They're nice and creamy.
Then Lauren poaches an egg and gets to work on the piparad.
It's actually a Basque dish from the Basque region in Spain. It's essentially just stewed bell peppers with some tomatoes, onion, and garlic.
For extra flavor, he fries up some shishito peppers. Then cooks the shrimp in the shrimp stock. When everything is ready, Lauren plates the dish, layering the ingredients to create a complex mix of color, flavor, and texture. The shrimp and grits gets high marks from new customers and old friends.
A lot of my friends come in and have the shrimp and grits, and I end up, because we have the open kitchen, with like high fives and like thumbs ups, and it's just kind of like cool to see that immediate gratification. I have people calling to make reservations, and then they say like, is this Lauren? And we're like, hey man, I haven't seen you in 15 years. Like, we used to play hockey together.
A former Upper Montclair hockey player now scoring in the kitchen. Straight ahead, a food blogger tells all.
I was a food stylist. I had to make food look pretty for years.
His secret to snapping mouth-watering pictures. I sit down with a big Instagram star when we return. Brunch is a staple in New York City, and nobody does brunch quite like Jeremy Jacobowitz. He's better known by his Instagram handle, Brunch Boys.
So the idea is to make people hungry for brunch.
Oh, of course, yes. You want people like salivating, looking at their phones.
Jeremy's Instagram account focuses on all things brunch, and it has nearly 500,000 followers.
When you're out and people recognize you, I guess, and it's very strange. Like, hey, Brunch Boys. I'm like, what? You know me? How?
I caught up with Jeremy as he photographed his favorite pancakes at Sunday in Brooklyn.
So this is the money shot.
Here we go. This is it, yeah.
The hazelnut maple praline malted pancakes, topped with melted brown butter.
It's like this ooey, gooey, sugary, just like sugar bomb on top of the pancakes. It truly makes these pancakes stand out. Any sort of action people love. And just like oozing down, people go crazy for it.
Yeah.
It's that pour. If you could get the shot with the pour and it's sort of dripping down, it's really, really, really beautiful.
Jeremy started Brunch Boys 3.5 years ago.
I was a food TV producer for years. I was always freelance. And between gigs, you just get bored. I was a food stylist. I had to make food look pretty for years. Now just on my own. And it just happened to start a food Instagram when people started to start them.
As his followers grew, Brunch Boys became his full-time job.
It's all partnerships, brand sponsorships, I guess. The restaurants, it's a trade. I get free food. It's comp food, and I post about it. And I think it's a pretty fair trade.
His most liked photos include variations of avocado toast.
Looks sort of simple, avocado toast, but just like the amount of flavor that's in there, the salt and the spice, and just the presentation, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's sort of like the next level avocado toast.
And of course, all kinds of bagels.
This is the Bagel. So it's a collaboration between Namwa and Black Seed. So they took like pork belly bun and stuffed it inside of a bagel. So they took like my two favorite things of all time and put it into one. So I thought it was like unbelievable. And there's me eating it.
And really enjoying it.
Before posting the final picture, Jeremy scrolls through hundreds of photos to find the ideal shot.
To get that perfect shot takes a while. I mean, just like different ways I would shoot it and different edits on it from different angles and then seeing what makes the most sense.
And once he finds it, it's time to eat.
Cheers to Brunch Boys.
Oh.
Wow. Amazing.
They don't taste like any other kind of pancake, right?
So good.
The way you feel looking at it is the way people are going to feel looking at it on Instagram. And I know, like, I'm hungry looking at it. I brunch every day. It's great. How could life get better?
Next, that's one big cannoli. And this is not your ordinary hot chocolate.
Bigger is better when it comes to dessert, and this cannoli in Little Italy is one you have to see to believe.
It's a cannoli so big, there's only one name for it: Holy Cannoli.
You don't make a cannoli that's a foot long thinking that people are gonna like freak out over it, but they're freaking out over it. It's been great.
Kat Chimenti is a pastry chef at Gelso and Grand in Little Italy and the creator of this mega dessert.
Whoa. When we make them downstairs, the whole restaurant smells like just deliciousness. That's what I was gonna say.
The flavors change seasonally. This time it's a collaboration with dough donuts. Kat showed us how she put her own twist on the classic Italian dessert.
I didn't want to make a traditional cannoli shell. I wanted it to be different. We make the batter. I already have that done. I use a pizzelle machine, which is an Italian waffle machine. We mold it around a kind of like a baby rolling pin.
Once Kat has the perfect shell, it's time to dip it in chocolate.
We have tempered white chocolate, so we're basically going to dip it right just up to the star. And we just let it drizzle. Shake it off a little bit. So this side gets a white and black nonpareil sprinkle.
The other side gets dunked in milk chocolate, and Kat let me help out with the cocoa nib topping.
Check out your work. Okay. You're hired.
Yes.
Now we are going to make filling.
Okay.
This is mascarpone, yogurt, heavy cream, cream cheese, ricotta, powdered sugar, and vanilla beans.
Yum.
So we mix it all together until it's whipped, fluffy, luscious. It's the best cardio I've ever had.
Okay.
For sure. My arms are looking diesel, and it's been great.
Kat mixes in homemade cookie dough into the filling for one side of the cannoli and reduced coffee for the other side.
I'll just drizzle it into the filling, like so. So I'll just stir it in slowly.
Then Kat fills the cannoli. She adds some fresh fudge garnish to the plate.
Every cannoli we garnish the plate differently.
The cannoli goes on top along with a cookie and a dough donut. And finally, a sign that says "Smash Me" and a small hammer to crack open the dessert.
It's important not to take yourself too seriously when you're eating. There's times for serious meals and there's other times to like have a hammer and just smash your dessert, I guess. In honor of you visiting, you get to smash it.
I get to smash it.
Yeah.
Okay. Moment of truth. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Then the first bite.
It's good stuff.
God, that is so good.
Yeah.
I have 2 words for you, Kat. Holy cannoli.
Oh.
Forget old-fashioned regular hot chocolate this winter. You can spice things up at Martha's Country Bakery with locations in Brooklyn and Queens. Here you'll find what foodies call the best hot chocolate in New York City. There's red velvet hot chocolate. It's rich, decadent, and will keep you coming back for more. There's also peanut butter hot chocolate, made with real scoops of peanut butter, and Mexican hot chocolate made with chili powder. So this winter, warm up with a new spin on your favorite winter drink.
I hope we've left you hungry and thirsty for more. From the unique to the cheesy, New York can satisfy any craving and then some. I'm Kerry Drew. Until next time, cheers and bon appetit.